Guns confiscated from criminals, later sold to the highest bidder. It brings in hundreds of thousands of dollars for police agencies across the state. But some of these guns were taken from murderers. Gun dealers don't mind, but as investigative reporter Miranda Combs found out, one prosecutor does mind, and he wants a state law changed.
They're just metal and steel and wood, and, they don't have a mind or a will or desire.
That from a gun dealer, one of the dozens that will make the trip to this gun auction in Frankfort. It's not open to the public. Only people with a federal firearms license can come in. Dealers only. We were let in before the auction started to look over the loaded racks of weapons, from Glocks to Smith & Wessons to Mossbergs. More than 400 guns from police agencies all over the state, ready to be sold to the highest bidder.
So when the sale goes through, as long as it went for more than 25 cents, we made money on that sale.
This is a good place to purchase the guns, yeah.
Kind of miscellaneous, some rifles and shotguns.
It's an old Smith & Wesson.
About 4 or 5 handguns.
That's a World War II M1 carbine. My field of expertise is World War II, military.
20% of the money made stays with Kentucky State Police.
Good guns at great prices.
The rest goes to a grant for agencies to buy resources like bulletproof vests. It's money in exchange for guns taken by police. Some of them minor gun possessions, others,
I call them killer guns,
are tied to deaths.
Don't auction those. Why? Because the families of victims or the victims of assaults with firearms don't want those guns back on the street.
Commonwealth's attorney Ray Larson showed picture after picture of guns that killed someone or injured or killed police or firefighters. He tried a couple of years ago to get state laws changed to require all guns used to kill someone or kill or injure police or firefighters destroyed.
And this has to do with getting rid of guns that killed somebody, because it is a monstrous nightmare to crime victims' families who have lost loved ones or had them injured, to think that that gun is still on the street somewhere.
We caught back up with dealers after a long day of buying confiscated guns.
They're just an inanimate object. The people committed the crimes, they just use these as tools. So
The term these people like to use that says these auctions put the guns back on the street, they don't just put them back on the street. They're run through the system.
Greg Riggs says he's been shooting since he was 3. He's a dealer in Frankfort now. These guns will be logged into his record books to be checked by alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
It doesn't matter to me if it was used in a crime, then they've taken it away from the criminal. The criminal doesn't have it anymore.
Larson isn't against auctioning most guns.
Have a good one, guy.
And most here, state police say, were just involved in a crime, maybe a felon in possession of a weapon or a burglary. But once it leaves this building, no one will probably know.
This isn't going to amount to a lot of guns. So if that's what they want to do, do it, but not with killer guns, or not guns that shoot law enforcement or firefighters.
Do you agree?
well, does he believe in voodoo too then, or witch doctors, or bad juju? I mean, the guns didn't do it.
And Larson's response to that is, this is about the peace of mind of victims' families. He says he does plan to reintroduce that proposal. He first pitched it a couple of years ago to former state representative Bob Dameron. Dameron at the time said he did not support it. I spoke to Dameron yesterday, and he said it's tough to draw a line between what guns should be destroyed, and if you start destroying ones involved in murder, then what about armed robberies? And the list would continue from there.
You showed us a lot of guns in that story. I would imagine the sale of all those guns at the auction brings in quite a bit of money for the police, right?
Right, Sam. Just last week, that auction that we took you to, $120,000 over the year. Usually, they're getting over $500,000.
Wow, a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miranda.